The LEGO Star Wars 2025 summer and August wave is literally just a month away, and now we finally got some official pictures of some sets. In this video we're gonna go over every single official picture that has been revealed for the summer sets. There are some more sets that are gonna release in August, so stay tuned for the other pictures that I think will be revealed relatively soon. I will of course cover all the news on this channel, so leave a like and subscribe to support the channel and to don't miss the new videos. Starting off with set number 75413 Republic Juggernaut. This set is gonna release of course on August 1st of 2025 with 813 pieces for roughly $160 and 150 euros. This set is gonna include 8 minifigures, 6 of which are exclusive to the set at the moment of recording this video. And it's also the first Juggernaut that is actually called Juggernaut from LEGO and not Clone Turbo Tank, so I think this was worth mentioning. Before we're gonna talk about the ridiculous price on this set, I think we're gonna talk about the best thing about the set, which is the minifigures. We first of all got Ki-Adi-Mundi, which is a new version of him. I think this is a slightly upgraded version from the 2018 version we already got from him. Yeah, not a major improvement, but still a great figure. The next minifigure is a long-awaited one. This is Commander Bakara. This is the first time we get this iconic character in the LEGO Star Wars minifigure form. I think the helmet mold looks awesome. I think they pretty much nailed the look of the helmet from Bakara. He has some nice torso and leg printing, but sadly no waist cape, which, yeah, I still don't get it, especially with the price of the set. It's just ridiculous it didn't include a waist cape. I don't get the argument that you cannot sit the minifigures with a waist cape. You can literally just remove that if you don't want it. But for the price, I think there would need to be a waist cape in the set. Super sad, because otherwise this is a great minifigure. The only critique on this minifigure I have is the lack of a physical waist cape. Then there are some more highly desirable characters, 3 Galactic Marines, which appear to be all the same. They're all new minifigures, we've never got these troopers before, and I think they look awesome. I think the color scheme that they have is just very nice to get in LEGO form now. The helmet is a new piece, which is awesome. I think the green lenses could have been a little cooler instead of the black lenses that LEGO chose to do here. But otherwise the printing on the torso is awesome, the printing on the legs is awesome. But once again, just like Bakara, the physical cloth karma is missing here, and I don't get it. It would have just elevated these figures to a whole nother level. It's just so sad that LEGO doesn't include these physical karmas anymore with LEGO minifigures. I don't know why, it's just, it's sad. The last 3 figures in the set are just some normal B1 battle droids. They're solid, but nothing special. And now let's take a closer look at the actual build of the set, the Juggernaut itself. And yeah, I don't like it. I think if LEGO keeps downscaling these sets more and more and keeps raising the prices still while downscaling and including lesser pieces, I think we are gonna hit a sad point very soon if we didn't already hit it now. And the set itself doesn't look that good. I think from the near perspective it looks more like a 4+ set or a very, very small play scale model, which it essentially is. It's just very overpriced in my opinion. I think from further away it gets the look across and it looks solid with all the tiles and everything, and the angles are solid, but it's just way too overpriced, and for the price of $160 I expect a bigger model. Yeah, when you look at the 2010 model from the Clone Wars, this was so much better and bigger and cooler. I don't know why they downscale it so much. I mean, look at the interior. It's not much space in there. It looks pretty cramped. You can take off a part of the roof to more easily access the interior, which I think is a great idea. But once again, it's way too small in my opinion. I think detail-wise it looks solid for the scale that it is. I think it looks okay. The shapes are fine. I don't know why they chose sand blue inside of the wheels. I think that looks a little weird. I'm not the biggest fan of the brick build wheels, but I don't think it looks particularly bad. I just prefer the old wheels on the bigger Clone Turbo Tank from back then. I also don't get why they didn't make a UT-80. I think with 813 pieces you could have easily built a UT-80 in a solid version and didn't have to downscale the Juggernaut so much. The only reason I can see is because the Juggernaut is more known and more beloved maybe than the UT-80. I mean, the minifigures, besides the missing physical karmas, are awesome. I really like the minifigures in the selection too, but for the price it's just, I don't know, I'm very disappointed by the set, and especially the price. Next up we have set number 75414, the Force Burner Snowspeeder from the Rebuild the Galaxy series. This set is gonna retail for roughly 50 euros and 55 US dollars and gonna include 349 pieces and 3 minifigures. As I still haven't watched the Rebuild the Galaxy show, I don't really have much to say about this set. I think it's a very niche model. I don't think that many people will be interested in such a set, but I still think it looks kinda cool. This hot rod design on the Snowspeeder has something to it. My favorite part for sure is the windshield / cockpit piece. I think it's great that LEGO finally did a new piece for this type of vehicle. And I can only hope that we can get a new Snowspeeder with this new windshield piece very soon, as I think this piece is very awesome. Minifigure wise, we get Sig Riebling. I haven't watched the show as I said, so I don't really know what he does or where he is from. I think it looks solid from the printing. He has an orange lightsaber color, which looks cool. Then there's Darth Death, who has arm printing on one arm. Some cool printing on the torso and the legs. And there is Solitus, the bad guy, I think. And I think he looks really cool with the chain together lightsaber with these purple pieces. Some cool torso and leg printing. He got a hood and a cape. And this very cool Duros head. I think he looks great. Cool figure. Now once again, I'm not too sure about the price. I mean, 349 pieces for 50 euros and 55 bucks is okay. But I don't really know. I don't think the set will be as beloved as other sets because it's just from a show that is very niche. So I don't know why they put the price point so high, but I think it's definitely more acceptable than on the Clone Turbo Tank, for example. But yeah, I don't know. This is not a set that I'm particularly interested in, but let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. The one battle pack we're gonna be getting this wave is set number 75431, 327th Star Corps Clone Troopers Battle Pack. This set is gonna include 258 pieces and 7 minifigures, and it's gonna retail for roughly 40 euros and 45 US dollars. Now I will go relatively quickly over the builds of the set because most of the people are gonna buy it for the figures anyway. There is an AT-AT walker included in the set, this time in yellow, and it's a little bit smaller, so it's closer to the scale it actually needed to be. It's still oversized, but not as humongously oversized like the first AT-AT or the AT-AT we've gotten in a Kashyyyk set a couple years ago. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this yellow color scheme, but it fits the Legion, I think. Then there's yet another dwarf spider droid. I don't know why LEGO can't include anything else than this. I don't know, it's just a little lame. It's a new version, so I think it's okay, but a crab droid would have been cool. Same goes for an Corporate Alliance tech droid. I think this would have been way cooler than another AT-AT and another dwarf spider droid. But yeah, I don't know why LEGO is so obsessed with this droid. I think a change would be way cooler. I think minifigure wise it's a great set. We get 3 super battle droids, which is great. Can't never have enough B2s. And then there's 4 of the brand new 327th Troopers. I think they look very cool. Once again, sadly missing the cloth karmas around the waist. And it's once again printed, which doesn't look good. Otherwise, the torso and leg printing looks very nice. I like the helmets too. I think the new pauldron piece is also very cool. I think it looks very nice. And these troopers just together look very cool. Can't wait to army build those. For the price though, I think 45 bucks is too much. Once again, this wave is great, but the prices are just too high in my opinion. Once again, 45 bucks is too much. I think, yeah, 30, 35, maybe 40, but 45 is just too high. And of course, I think they just included the droids in the Dwarf Spider droid to kind of justify the price. I think just including the 4 troopers in a normal, smaller battle pack for around 20 bucks would have been enough. But yeah, I get why they did that, but I'm not the biggest fan of those super big battle packs. But yeah, otherwise the clones are amazing. I'm looking forward to building an army of these. They look great. I'm very happy we get those. And here is the set that I'm probably the most excited about. It's set number 75435, Battle of Felucia Separatist MTT. This set is gonna retail for roughly 150 euros and 160 US dollars. And it's gonna include 976 pieces and 12 minifigures. The 12 minifigures may seem much, but most of the minifigures, to be exact, 10 of the 12 minifigures are droids. So I count droids as minifigures, but in my opinion not as worthy as normal minifigures, so you gotta keep that in mind. The first minifigure is Ayla Secura. It's a new version of her. It's not that different from the last version we got from Ayla. I think it's a great figure, looks good, I'm very happy. Then the next minifigure, and probably one of the most desirable of this wave, is Commander Bly. We finally get him as a LEGO minifigure and he looks great. The printing on his helmet, on the torso, on the legs looks awesome. Sadly, once again, no cloth karma, which is sad. But you get the new pauldron piece, which looks really great. And you also got the micro binoculars, which looks also, once again, wonderful. It's a great minifigure. He looks very, very cool. Very excited to get him. We got one pilot battle droid, which I think is from the now not exclusive anymore battle droid pilots from the droid carrier from May the 4th, 2024, I think. Then there are 6 normal B1 battle droids and 3 commando droids, which have a new color. They're now in this gunmetal gray. I think I prefer the brown molded commander droids we've gotten a couple years ago. I don't think this gunmetal grey looks more accurate to the source material, but they're nonetheless very cool minifigures. Now while when we look at price per piece it seems a little high, I think from the value you're getting it seems pretty fair. I don't think it's overpriced that much, still a little overpriced, but I think it's way fairer than some of the other sets in this wave. And I just have to say the entity looks gorgeous. I think there are a lot of details they've gotten right and the angles look pretty good. I think the front piece that is printed looks awesome. This big nose piece, you could say, looks great. Then there's of course a mechanism where you can launch the battle droids out of the MTT. And I'm just so happy that LEGO finally made the blue and grey version from the Clone Wars. Yeah, I think it's really cool and it looks great. Then there's also a playscale version of Jango Fett Starship being set number 75433. This set is gonna cost roughly $70 US and euros. And it's gonna include 3 minifigures and 707 pieces. Now for the ship itself, it's a little bit bigger, I think, than the last iteration of Boba Fett's Starship we got in 2021, I think, for around $50, if I remember that right. I think price-wise you can't complain too much. I think it looks good for the scale it is. Of course it's not gonna look as good as the UCS model, but I think it looks very solid. They included once again the little transport wagon where you can put the Slave One onto this blade, and otherwise you can play with this thing. And yeah, the cockpit space might be a little cramped, but you can actually fit Jango and Boba in there. And looks-wise, I think for a smaller budget or just a smaller display when you don't want to get the big one, I think it's a very solid display version of this set. So yeah, I think it's a great idea to put out a cheaper version of this ship. Minifigure-wise, you get the young Boba. I think this is the exact same version as the UCS version. Then there's Jango Fett. The only difference about him is that he's missing the arm prints, otherwise it's pretty much the same figure. But now there comes the great choice by LEGO to include Lama Su, a brand new Camino minifigure. I think this minifigure has the potential to be one of the best minifigures that LEGO Star Wars released this year. The printing on the torso and also on the slope piece looks great, and a brand new head mold is amazing. After we got Town V in, I think 2021 with Obi-Wan's Starfighter, we now got Lama Su with another brand new head mold. It looks great. The head with the little fin he has on his head, I might say, and the little piece around his neck. It looks great. It's a great looking minifigure. I'm really hyped to get this. What I think is crazy that the year where it's rumored that we get a $1,000 Death Star, LEGO decided to push out 3 LEGO Star Wars UCS sets. And one of these is set number 75417 UCS ATST. This set is going to include 1,513 pieces, 1 minifigure, and it's going to retail for roughly $200 US in euros. Now, while I think it's an interesting decision by LEGO to release 3 UCS sets instead of 2 the year we get probably a $1,000 Death Star, I still am very happy that they released a new UCS ATST. This has been very high on my wish list as the old set got pretty expensive and it was pretty old. It's from the year 2006, I think. So I was very glad that they chose to do another one. And I think the improvements are there. However, the price is still a little, I don't know. I mean, $200 for 1,500 pieces doesn't seem too bad. But when you compare the size, from what I've heard, it's smaller in every dimension. So I'm not all too sure about this. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the UCS ATST looks very great. I think they really nailed most of the proportions. I think the legs are a little bit thick, but otherwise I think it looks amazing. What I don't like is the couple of dark tan pieces. I don't think this looks so nice. I would have preferred if it would just be fully light bluish gray or just gray in general. Otherwise, the shaping and the detail looks very great. I'm a big fan of this model and the design. However, I feel like $200 is a little bit much considering the size. It doesn't seem all too big on the photos here. It looks great, but I don't know if it's $200 great. What is amazing though is the ATST driver minifigure, which is next to the printed plaque, of course. I really like this ATST driver. It has arm printing on both sides with these Imperial logos. I think it looks great. It's an awesome minifigure. I'm a really big fan of this. And once again, I'm pretty hyped for this set. I think it looks great. I'm not all too sure about the price, but I will find out in the review if it's worth it or not. But I think it looks great. I'm very hyped for this set. UCS ATST, I've been waiting a long time. So yeah, I'm very glad that they chose to do this. Now the last set we've got official pictures from, and then I think the only August set we don't have official pictures from yet is the Buildable Ewok, is set number 75432 V19 Torrent Starfighter. It's gonna include 567 pieces, 3 minifigures, and is supposed to retail for roughly 65 euros and US dollars. The minifigure lineup is awesome. The first minifigure we're getting is General Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Clone Wars. I'm so happy that they now do more of these Clone Wars arm prints for the Jedi Generals, and on Obi-Wan Kenobi it looks amazing. Now he finally has his normal face and not the Clone Wars stylized face, so it looks like a perfect minifigure here. The next minifigure is one that has been long desired by fans. It's the Phase 1 pilot with the accurate helmet, so without the fin. It took LEGO a long time to finally do a correct mold for this pilot, but it was definitely worth the wait. I think it looks awesome. The print on the helmet looks good. I think the mold looks amazing. The printing on the torso and the legs looks also great. I hope they're now gonna include this Phase 1 pilot that is actually accurate in more sets. And the last minifigure is Asajj Ventress in a more unique outfit in this more purple instead of some darker black clothing. But the minifigure looks great. I think the head printing is amazing. Of course, she got her lightsaber hilts that she got a couple years back. And the printing on the torso and legs looks amazing. Looks once again like a stellar minifigure. Very hyped for this minifigure lineup. Now for the V19 Torrent itself, I'm a little bit torn. I think on the box or in a flight position it looks very good. I think the angles and shaping is very nice. There are a couple of stickers I think, but otherwise it looks great. But where I'm not so sold on is the landing position. I think the wings are just a little too small, so it looks a little boxy and not the right shape. I don't know, I think in landing position it doesn't look as good as in the flying position. So yeah, I think the best display you're gonna get out of this is on a flight stand, or just if you're gonna display it any way in a flight position. I think in the landing position it doesn't do the ship justice. But I think value-wise for the price that LEGO is asking, it seems kind of fair. I think you get 3 stellar minifigures and a very solid V19 Torrent. Yeah, once again, I don't like the landed position look of this, but in the flying position it looks amazing. But now that have been all the pictures we have gotten for the LEGO Star Wars Summer Wave as of right now. I think the only set that is missing to be officially revealed is the buildable Ewok. So yeah, in my opinion, not the most exciting set, but I'm still gonna be looking forward to see pictures of this. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the price situation of the LEGO Star Wars Summer Wave. In my opinion, it's a great wave based on the sets and minifigures. But yeah, the price just has a bitter taste to it. I think a lot of these sets are just overpriced in, yeah, some more, some less way, but yeah, it's a little sad that this overshadows the great selection of sets in the Summer Wave. But as I said, let me know down in the comments below what you think about the prices and the sets in general. What sets are you planning on picking up? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to support the channel. Please consider subscribing if you're new, and until then, have a great day.